What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are driving a 2008 BMW 328i Sport Pack with a 6-speed manual transmission. We have the owner with us, Steven. Steven, tell us a little bit about this car. You've had it for a little bit.
So, got this car about a year ago. Yeah, Sport Pack manual, like you said. And yeah, I found it in Alabama, about a couple hours from where I live. And it was very neglected. It needed wheel bearings, valve cover. It still needs an oil pan gasket. And I'm still kind of making my way through the car. And got it to like driving condition.
Yeah.
And I've been enjoying it and using it as a daily so far.
Only mod on here is an AFE Intake. And then this is the HP shift knob, which feels great on the shifter. I felt them stock, they're a little rubbery. This shift knob completely transforms it. But I'm very excited to spend some time with this today. Let's go ahead and hop on the road and see how the E90 328 drives. So quiet. So some initial impressions. It's very quiet. It feels very modern in here. This all sort of looks older. I mean, they don't do any of this anymore. I do kind of like this. But it has a lot of the bones of the modern cars in terms of how soft it is, how everything feels. Everything's a little more insulated than, say, an E46, the one before it, and especially the E36 before that. But it feels nice in here. The shifter feels great with this shift knob on it. There we go. It's been taking me a second to get used to shifting in this car because the revs drop so quickly. But you said it was because of the lightweight engine, correct?
Yeah, just the whole valve train is lighter.
So what got you into this car?
Well, I came from an E36 M3, which is what you drive.
Yeah.
And how we became friends, really.
Yeah.
And loved the car so much, but I just needed something a little bit more modern for just some long commuting, long highway commutes. And
yeah.
I wanted to get into something cheaper. And yeah, I've had a couple of these in the wagon form.
Yeah.
The E90 ones, and I love them. And so I was just like, I'll try one of these out. And so I started looking and found this car a couple hours away. Yeah, so I went to go see it, and it honestly wasn't as nice as I thought it would be. So I talked him down in price a bit, and at the end of the day, I kind of am happy that it was actually a bit rough around the edges, because it lets me work on it, lets me, you know, wrench a little bit, and save some money on it, and I can just drive it and not worry about it.
Right, exactly. So this makes about 235 horsepower, you said?
Yes.
So there's a few different engines that came in these. What's funny is every one of these are a 3-liter. So 330 is 3-liter, 328 is 3-liter, 325 is a 3-liter. Yeah. So the difference is between this and a 330 is the intake manifold.
Yep.
Because you could throw a 330 intake manifold on this guy and make 265 the BMW tune, or a little more if you do aftermarket.
Yeah, exactly.
But what differentiated this one between one with 215 per se?
So the 215 one, I believe, had slightly less compression, like a smaller compression ratio from this motor. This motor is pretty much identical. None of them are identical, but this one is pretty much identical to the 330s. The 330 was only 2006, by the way.
Interesting, I did not know that.
Yeah, it was only 2006, and they came heavily optioned. So I was telling Sonny before that it's funny, they actually, as the cars age, the 3 Series, from 2006 to 2012 or whatever it was, they actually got like less nice. They came with less options. And so the 330s were kind of like the pinnacle in terms of They were kind of like the pinnacle in terms of options and just being a nice car. Some of them came with adaptive cruise control, dude, in 2006.
Ooh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Is our motor up to temp?
Who knows? Because we do not have a temp gauge or a coolant.
We've been running for a while.
Gauge. Yeah, we're probably fine. You can. This would be good. Yeah.
It's very quiet. Ooh, it's so smooth. Those brakes feel good. Holy smoke, this thing's fun. Third gear and fourth gear are my favorite gears so far in this car.
Nice.
It handles the bumps really nicely. The car is super composed. Just something we were talking about yesterday about cars and being too stiff, is sometimes stiffness is not always the answer. With shock absorbers especially. But I like this. It's nice in stock form. The steering is a little bit numb relative to a lot of the older BMWs, but it's overall still more communicative than the modern cars. It's sort of like a middle ground.
Yeah, I drove the F30 back-to-back with this, and then just driving your E36, it's definitely in between.
Yeah, I think this was definitely the first modern BMW in the sense that it got all the electronics, the iDrive, some of them have the screen, all of that, but it hadn't quite lost all of its character yet. Not that the new ones lost their character, but they're almost too perfect. Like, they're engineering marvels. This still had some of that back road, like, communicates to you, go-karty sort of feel.
It's big, but it's not too big. It's sporty enough.
Sporty enough, exactly.
It gets great gas mileage. It's super reliable.
Yeah, we have the AC on right now, and it still pulls totally fine.
Yeah.
My E36, I turned the AC on, I feel like I lose a little bit of torque. I do like how this eats up the road. This car would be really nice on like 70 to 90 mile an hour sweepers.
Nice.
Traction control.
You know what you should do? You should tighten up your bolster.
Ah, yes, so we can do that. Which button was it again?
It's kind of to the left of your kneecap.
Left my kneecap, it's down low.
Yeah.
I'll wait till I get to straight patch. Oh, this is so good. Okay, so left my kneecap, it's sort of, Is it forward or backwards?
Forward to tighten.
Forward, yes, I'm tightening now. Okay, we'll put a video of this on screen. But these have, I guess, what do you call them, airbags?
Yeah, airbags.
Yeah. In the bolsters, and you can tighten them up. So I always thought that the E90 sport seats looked really flat. They aren't. They're adjustable. So you can set them flat, get a nice comfortable seat for a nice long road trip, or when you're doing something like this, you tighten them up with this little switch down here, and now it holds you in really well. Sound sort of reminds me of the E46, but it's a little more refined than that. This thing's a blast. I love this. So you do have future plans for this car?
Yeah, I think, you know, I was contemplating putting it on suspension and putting wheels on it and stuff.
Yeah, all the normal mods.
Yeah, I don't think I'll do that until I get another daily.
Yeah.
Or I'll keep this a daily and get like a different fun car. Right.
Okay.
So,
that makes sense.
Yeah, and it's just such a good car. I'm not sure I want to compromise it for daily driving just yet.
100%. No, I know what you mean. Yeah, because once you start stiffening things up, you start dealing with other adverse consequences you didn't expect.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'll either keep this as a daily and keep it like this and get something else that I can track, or make this the track car and get something else that's soft and cushy.
Yeah, right. I was correct. This is easier to drive at higher RPMs and when sending it than at low speeds for me.
I was gonna say, nice driving here. You picked it up quickly.
Yeah. Now the higher the RPMs, I notice when you put the clutch in, the slower the revs drop.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't like rev hang, but some rev hang is good.
Mm-hmm.
And this at lower speeds, like if I put the clutch in now I gotta bring it back up. Maybe shift quicker is the solution.
Yeah.
But I would need more seat time in this car to get comfortable just throwing it in the gear and doing it quickly.
Yeah.
You're really good at it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I was already faster than this earlier. And this does have that classic mid-2000s BMW gas pedal that a lot of people complain about.
Nice. Ooh, little M2.
Look
that might be my buddy.
The problem with this gas pedal is that the initial bite does not quite give you the response you need, and you have to give it a lot of gas to get the response that you're looking for. Oh, here we go. It's very good at dampening vibrations between shifts. So earlier I was really smooth with it. That one I let myself shift a little quicker and it still just soaked it right up.
Yeah.
In the mid-2000s, BMW drivers got a name for being asshole drivers, being bad drivers. We don't use turn signals, they cut people off all the time. Here are the two reasons why. First of all, the turn signal sucks. Right? It does the auto centering thing, so a lot of people didn't know how to use it. More automakers do it now, but back then it was like a first. And then also, it's the gas pedal. So this is a manual one, so you're more in tune with it, and you're not just gonna do this. But a lot of people that are automatics, giving a partial throttle, like, oh, I wanna go past somebody, this and that, and they weren't getting the power they wanted. So it's like, ah, screw it, they just put their foot down. And that's really why I think BMW drivers sort of got their name for the way they are.
That's a very interesting theory. I've never heard that.
But I mean, I feel like why else would that happen? Also, the type of person to buy a BMW is probably going to be more arrogant and aggressive of a driver anyway, generally.
A lot of people our age. A lot of guys our age.
Yes, a lot of guys our age. We have tons of testosterone.
Yeah.
Our brains aren't quite developed yet, so we're not good at making choices that are of accurate risk assessment.
Yeah.
This thing feels great.
Thanks, dude. I'm glad you like it.
Oh, that was perfect. Now I'm getting to the rhythm of this car.
You're getting it.
I like this intake too. When it's stock, you can't hear these at all.
Stock, all you hear is like the alternator. Or not the alternator pulley, I think it is.
Yeah.
Cut off by an Altima.
Wow. So right there, okay, I just experienced the perfect example of the gas pedal. I had it at like 2/3 throttle, and then I gave it full throttle, and I felt no difference in acceleration. None at all. Not a single bit in second gear there. The gas pedal, this pedal is probably the biggest letdown of the car. Everything else is great. If the gas pedal was better, it would be a perfect formula. It's a small thing. Every car's always got something.
Yeah.
And you know what? If this one has a weird gas pedal, so be it. That's how it is. I do also feel like I need to keep the RPMs a little bit higher. Like if I shift it down low.
You can go in 6 actually.
Can you? Okay, so it has torque. Let's try it.
Yeah, I mean you won't like accelerate much, but it'll
kind of keep trucking along.
Yeah.
So, alright, we're going like 40 right now. Let's get up a little bit. Oh, no, it's totally fine.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great fuel economy while doing it.
Yeah, I throw it in 6 all the time.
Okay, I stand corrected what I was just about to say about not having low torque. It just doesn't feel like it because the gas pedal. But if you trust it, it'll give you the torque you're looking for.
Yeah.
We have finished our test drive of the 2008 E90 328i sedan. I think BMW hit it right with this car. It's not too much of anything. It's a perfect combination of I just spent 50 grand on my luxury sedan and I want it to be nice while also still delivering some feedback that you want. It's better than modern cars, not quite as good as the old cars. It's really in that middle ground. This was probably, I would say, the first modern BMW as we know it today. And the best part about this car is the price. You bought this for...
I got it for $5,000.
$5,000 at the height of the market. Realistically now, you could probably pick up something like this for $3 or $4 grand.
Yeah, all day, yeah.
All day. And honestly, that's a steal.
It's just a great all-around car that's still fun to drive. You can kind of do anything with it. They're like Legos. You can make it, you know, keep it stock, or you can make it a full-blown track car, or anything in between. So I think it's a great value proposition, and that's why I got one.
It's perfect. And you can put ITBs on them.
Yeah.
I'd love to drive a 128 someday, or 328 with ITBs.
ITBs, because there's no throttle body.
Right, yeah, it's a whole thing. But anyway, with that, let's go ahead and give the E90 328i a score. The E90 328i scores here on our list. It just barely edges out a lot of the other rivals highlighted. The E90 is a bargain, and while its typical BMW maintenance prevents it from being higher here, it is still a lot of car for the money. Should you buy it? The E90 3 Series was the first modern BMW as we know it today. The introduction of iDrive, Valvetronic, and plenty of other tech that engineers marvel at. What this means for the buyer is we get a well-engineered and well-built car for a bargain. These are not immune to the typical European car oil leaks, coolant leaks, and general trim pieces that need to be replaced. But otherwise, these have been proven to travel well into high mileage life without a lot of the big dollar issues that some of the newer ones face. Overall, it doesn't do anything particularly great or badly, but for way less than $10,000, you have a great entry-level enthusiast car. Just make sure you don't run to the dealer for every little thing.